So today we're going to do something completely different to what we normally do. Normally we just have a raw gameplay video, but today we're going to change things up. We're going to build a deck, I'm going to show you the deck, and then we're going to play some games. So as you would tell, we are going to be playing Android 17, and with the recent ban list that just come out, I personally feel like Android 17 is a really good option. So I'm looking for the next option to play at the next regional event, and I feel like Android 17 is the way to go. But also there's one card that it gets to abuse, which I believe can actually make this build slightly aggressive, which is this 4-drop ramp card that we got in set 2. Now, I feel like this card is really good. It does take a little bit of setup, but I feel like it is very easy to set up. All you need to do is just combo out of a couple attacks early, or you use your 18 filter card, and you've got an extra android in your drop. You can just charge androids as you go. As long as by your turn 4, you've got 3 androids that you can ramp from your drop. One card you will notice that we are running, and that a card that we are not running, is Dr. Giroux's Lab. We have chosen to go for Destructive Strength instead. My theory behind that is, in those hard aggressive games, okay, we're probably not going to see many of them. I feel like there is a fair bit more setup if you want to lab and efficiently use the 4-drop to continue ramping. I've tried out Destructive Strength, and I just feel like this lets you be that little bit more aggressive. With Topu being gone, we might see a bit of resurgence of yellow. This green, unfortunately, outside of Broly, does fall victim to the Ginyu package. So, we're opting to run 3 Sensu Beans. Because we're not playing Giroux's Lab, it is a little bit harder to leave 2 energy up, but if you do hit everything on curve, on your turn 4 ramp, you can leave 2 up for Sensu Bean for defense. But we've also tapped in a couple of Corrins, because against, this is probably mainly only coming up against yellow. But yellow only really has one card that will straight KO Corrin, and everything else would require a swing, or it would require 2 cards from my opponent to essentially remove Corrin and not make the Sensu Bean free. So pretty much, as long as they don't just play down a Cooler and swing with Cooler first, you can bean for free, but you can also bluff it. You can leave your 2 up for, if Corrin does get KO'd, you can just bean there, and then all the 20k bodies are very irrelevant. Or if Corrin does survive, you've got a free bean, and then you can use a card such as Earth Destroying Kamehameha to just draw you another card and get out of another swing. But that's enough chatting from me. Let's get into some games, and you guys can see how this deck operates. Right, so we're playing a Broly. I have not played any Brolys in a long time, so this will be very interesting to see how we go against Broly. I have made this deck a little bit on the aggressive kind of side, and it spits a lot of 20k bodies, as that's a really, really good opening hand for us. So it'll be very interesting to see how we fare against Broly of all people. It's been a while since I've seen this opening. Please head to Goku. Corrin might actually be kind of useful. No, I think we charged. No, I probably actually should have. I actually should have charged the extra card, because we can obviously recover the extra cards. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can play the Krillin next turn and then Androids and Destructive Strength the turn after, but it's really up to you. You can Destructive Strength with your marker, and then you're at 4, and then you go to 3. So it's really a personal preference which way you want to do this. I definitely just prefer going first with this deck, especially in the green mirror, as it's got a couple of cantrips to combo out there, which is a bit of a pain. We will charge the 10k. We will obviously combo with the other. But I mean, Broly does have its disadvantages staying at high life, because you are susceptible to being double striked from 5 to 2 in the deck. So we do have Krillin that will search for the double striker. As we don't find it, we will take, as we do have 2 super combos going to the bottom of the deck. That is very, very rough. But then next turn we'll just Androids and Destructive Strength combo off the 18. And I didn't swing with the Krillin too. I don't know why I didn't swing with that Krillin, but the longer Broly lives, the more painful it can be for us. So obviously if you are going first and you get to turn 3 like this, this would be our turn 3 play where we Destructive Strength. As he's got a cantrip at every corner. Very, very rough for us that he just happens to have all the cantrips. As he takes a Meteor. Make a mental note of that one. Okay, so there's our first Broly. We want to set up the turn after. So the turn after we are set up as well, which isn't too bad. And we do have Cell now as well. Cell I'm a little bit on the fence about now that we have cut the lab. I feel like Cell is a really good card. Really, really good card in 17 with the lab. Without the lab, okay, so we've ramped one of our super combos. We've bottom deck 2, and we've got the last one in our hand. So this is actually going to be a little bit rough for us. Seeing a double strike Androids coming in now would be really helpful. But yeah, I just think Cell in the lab build is really, really good because you do ramp to awkward numbers and you are consistently ramping. So climbing back from the neg 3 on Cell is really, really good, as we do have to take some life here. Obviously a double strike Androids would be really nice. Sensu Bean, obviously not being able to, obviously we kind of need a bit of a heart of the cards moment here. Okay, so he does opt to go for the board. It's like, that's a 25k, that's going to be a little bit of a rough number for us. As we draw an II beam, we'll swing it at the leader. Unfortunately, not much there that can help us. We will get our ramp. So we pop 2 of our energy. Gain 3. Obviously having no play here. The play here is probably nearly, like, I nearly feel like the play on is to just about gain a life. We don't want to be swinging at Broly again, but at some point we will. We've got nothing really else on, so let's see if this helps us. Essentially it becomes a draw. I mean, it costs 5 energy, but we had nothing else on. Obviously having the double strike there would have been really good. Broly can't drop his own Broly this turn. So always remember, when you have got 2 20Ks on the board like we do now, and you are only planning on swinging with one, always make sure you swing with your 17, 18, because if your opponent KOs it, it just goes into the drop, and then that's another card set up for your ramping. Especially if you are really, really tight on cards. Because Broly has an absolute fistful. Let me say, okay, so there's the double strike. We will be able to obviously KO his double strike. Just keep on this staying at high life. Oh, and we did the maths wrong. Well, there we go. There's an error. But unfortunately, has cost us the 10k. And now we're just seeing all sort of come unstuck. So we see another beam. we can just... Obviously, it is a gigantic meteor and you're out, but we unfortunately comboed off one of the cards we could have used. So that is an easy out for the Broly. As we'll probably see a super combo at 5k. Yep. Do get to chip away a little bit at that hand. Opponent does have one Broly. Oh, and we forgot to swing with our leader. So this game you can probably write off, guys. We've made a few mistakes in this game. Because the leader's not awakened, it's sort of... Unfortunately, it was just instinct. But it'd actually be very interesting to see what route my opponent takes here if he tries to... I assume he would be swinging and trying to get the kill. Yeah. Alright. No, I think we will... If he decides that he wants to keep me at high life and not awaken me, it kind of backfires on him because he doesn't get any value of his Broly besides carrying my Broly. Okay, no, so... He's going to chip away at us. Obviously, our hand is really not looking good. As we sort of do have to take these. It's not looking very good. We've got all our gigantic meteors. It is not your ideal situation to be in here. Unfortunately, we're obviously having some instant Kamehamehas here would be very good to get back off the... to get back, but it is what it is. We will just have to carry on. Oh, we've got a pitch 3, that's right. So, to get the double KO, it really just comes down to how much value my opponent has in his hand. Does he have another Broly? As my opponent does just meteor out there. Sorry, that was a nice little cut. We're definitely in a very bad situation here. Obviously, if we get through next turn, we've got a lot of defense, but unfortunately, yeah, we've got another Broly that we obviously we can't answer the Broly next turn. It's a dire situation. Unfortunately, we know that 2 of the super combos are at the bottom of the deck. And it's just a matter of when he kills me now. I think even if I don't make a couple of mistakes there, I still don't think it changes too much. Obviously, him having another Broly, us having to respond with Cell is a bit unfortunate. This is another Cell, which is probably very useless at the moment. So we haven't even, unless we draw into the double strike androids here, which we don't, definitely not looking too crash hot. As he does combo out there. Really, the only thing we can do is just... there's not really a lot we can do. I think we just gotta hope that we can get an all-in from somewhere. Obviously, if something comes down to KO, then it's Obviously we lose a 10k combo. Okay, so he obviously doesn't have another Broly. Maybe he's just looking for big combo power. Rip this. We will get a draw. Let's just hope we draw into some combo. As we don't. As they do. I feel like we're just going to be eating a massive swing. Fortunately, no super combos doesn't help. Okay, get a draw. Does he just play down the SCR and swing hard? Or does he go hard on this? Five. We go to 40. And then we just see the big massive swing come down. Obviously, we can only get to 85, but I definitely feel looking at that hand being green, he's going to be getting to a little bit bigger than 85. There's a meteor. Five, that's the number. 90. Oh, well. So, and he had 3 super combos in hand. So this is just one of those games that, despite the mistakes, we were in a very rough situation. Obviously, I really would have liked to have gone first in this deck. It is what it is. So, unfortunately, that is game. Let's go and see how we go in game 2. Alright, so now we're playing Topu. This is, like, pretty obsolete as well. This deck isn't teched for Topu. This is sort of built for after Topu. Obviously, Topu is still available to be played at its full power, so people want to play that is what it is. But we'll see how rough we run against Topu. Bean will be useless in this, and we just pass. Obviously, next turn we've got the Krillin to get set up. There's some androids to get some stuff going. We probably do need to take some damage to try and find some pieces. There's a Cell. Cell's probably going to be no use in this matchup. As Topu doesn't open with a Roshi, which is always good to see. This is potential that this guy has and he's whiffed. Wow, that's a bit unfortunate. There is potential that he has already taken the Roshi package out. So we will charge an android. Okay, so there's our turn 4 random option. Now we just need to see if we can find a destructive strength. And we do. We don't want Topu getting the advantage. We want him to we want to build that board a little bit and then just hit him hard. Have sort of got the pieces that we need. We do need to get one android in the drop. Actually, yeah, we'll combo out. See. Okay, so still no self-awaken, which isn't a bad thing. Obviously, an II beam here would actually be really, really good. Be very helpful for us. So that's a super combo, no an II beam. Okay, so no, well, we could have used those super combos in the last game, but here we are. And just with our luck, it'll be an II beam. Nope, it's a Corrin. So it wasn't an android, which is a little bit unfortunate. So seeing an II beam here would be really, really good to remove some combo power. Charging up the Weasleys, so they're not going to be useful. We'll take that hit. Another Krillin. Okay, so there is a world where we can make this play work. Krillin into an IO beam. Okay. And he opting not to swing. A little bit of an interesting play. Maybe he wants to be able to awaken Kefla and double Kefla next turn. So I feel like maybe the optimal play is not to swing into him. Another card would be good. And that's actually really... really... So the game's just bugged because I don't have it on selecting what you want to rest as your energy, but it hasn't chosen this. So unfortunately we've got to get rid of one of our active energy to get our Rampulf. That's actually the first time that's happened. Oh, this would have been alright to have another. So we don't see an IO beam, and there's a Cell and a Broly going to the bottom. We will take the double strike droids. And we'll pass it over. Because it would take 2 Self Awakeners. So my opponent still needs to take 3 life. Does look like he has set up to want to play double Kefla this turn. He obviously can play 1 Kefla and get himself close to an Awaken. But at this point he's really maybe only KOing 1 card, and then next turn we can really sort of apply the pressure. We will see if we can get Awakened so we do get that 30k swing. Okay, not what I had on my bingo card for my opponent doing, but... So I assume he will be taking a life here, yes. Again, this is why, like, he's chosen to neg the android, which I'm not against. Definitely not against, as another android in the drop means that we will be able to just ramp again. I assume we see a Kefla here, yeah. Potentially another Gohan. Yep, another Gohan. So at the moment we'll be able to get 3 20k swings and a 30k swing at my opponent. So we do have a meteor. We will use one because next turn we won't have to worry about. We only get to use one next turn. Just staying at that high life. Obviously we're going to be able to KO both the Gohans. Charging is a... So this could be the wrong play. This could be the wrong play. Because it's either play the double strike. It does have a very big hand. He does let it die. We will opt to keep the meteor for defense. Topu will have, like, they will have to Gohan and turn their attention away from my leader to remove this. Do get a super combo out. And another Gohan. So that's only one Gohan left. Don't necessarily have to worry too much about the minusing. Do have good amount of combo in our hand. Obviously, one thing we do, I guess, have to be wary on this turn is a double glimpse into a Ribrianne. It does come down to if my opponent thinks that he can push the pressure. Yes, there's another Kefla. Okay, we go to the 17 route. That's not a bad play. It does obviously slow down our Krillins. And then we're seeing maybe another 17 come down? Or another Kefla into another 17? Obviously, double 17 here is really, really, really strong for my opponent. Yep, another 17. Alright, we feel like we can take. Because next turn, we do want to try and kill. I don't think there's much point trying to drag it out. Obviously, we can't remove the 17s. As an SCR would be very good if 17 could not be removed, but here we are. Does make it an easy charge for next turn. Guess we just have to get a little bit lucky here. Obviously my opponent has played multiple Keflas. This wouldn't be the case. What can he get to? 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 105, 115, 40, 60, 85, 95, 105, 110. Does my opponent will combo out of there? Just see if he keeps continuing to prod us. We obviously don't want to go down one. He does have a fair size in his hand. Right. Bit of combo here would be good. Okay, 5k, 10k would have been good. Does he go all in there? Right, this helps us a little bit, because that's 15k of combo we don't have to worry about. As we just draw into none of our combo. So we do have to combo here. My opponent does take it. Very interesting to see if he takes to 1. The 17s here are very, very, like, have put him in a really good spot to sort of come back. As we net at 10k. Okay, so I have to You have to really think hard about this. We're seeing the 4 to 5 and he takes it. And we poke with the Krillin. See where we get. Because if he goes down to 1, then that's 2 swings that he's got to deal. And we are getting the just feel like we're not going to have enough here. I think he's just got way too many 10Ks, and obviously being at 30k base is really, really strong. Yep, there's a super, and that is unfortunately going to be a game lost for us. We're not going to sit around and wait for him to kill us. We will just retire there. That is a bit unfortunate, but that is Topu at full power. We got a little bit lucky with not being able to self-awaken, but let's just go and see what happens in game 3. Alright, so we got a mirror. Let's hope we get to go first in this green mirror. Let's see if we can finish this video on a strong. It has not been... We do get to go first. I don't really like that. We will go again, and that isn't all that much better. Like I said, it would be good to finish this video with a win. I really would like to try and make Android 17 work, and unfortunately this video has not been the way to showcase it. As we will just combo out there. Start off getting an Android in the drop. As he is playing a Vizuro, does he whiff off it? No, he doesn't. Okay, here's the double strike, so we do need to be wary of that. We will charge the A10. I would assume my opponent just combos out here himself, but having no turn 2 play here is a little bit on the rough side. He does charge droid, so we've got to think that maybe there's another droid in his hand, so knowing that 1 is gone is a good start. He's playing the destructive strength engine. No lag by the looks of things. Unless he is playing lab as well. Kind of need a heart of the cards guide us moment. And unfortunately that wasn't it. And neither is that. So unfortunately, this video is really not how we would have liked it to have gone, as no ramp has really set us back. But, you know, let's see if we can claw our way back, as he does get his ramp down. And it's going to put us even further behind. So obviously shows the importance of not missing curve in this deck, especially involved in a mirror. You don't want to be that person that's falling behind like we unfortunately are, because it is a little bit late for the destructive strength. We would have been able to get a double ramp off this turn had we have found that destructive strength last turn. So let's see if we can at least get back on track. as we do ramp our super combo. It's always a fine line. Do you swing first or do you ramp first? Just have to see where we end up. We're definitely not in a good spot. That one. This is just where, this is like the more sort of, as I was talking about, the aggressive kind of build. So my opponent will either be able to play down a 2-drop Krillin, 2-drop Android, play 2 of them. He could ramp again. It's just really, yeah, okay, so he can't ramp with the 4-drop again. We will just see, obviously, how the board state goes. If he decides to go really wide, we'll just blow the board up with the SCR. Never thought I would see the SCR come useful in a mirror match, but we KO them, and we'll maybe, I don't know. I don't know if the double strike droids was the play, but I think just the board could. Oh, well, I suppose we can still play the double strike. We do get a bit of board back. I feel like it's a very easy out. They've got 5 energy up. This is where it gets interesting. Do we ramp again? I feel like maybe we take the surviving route. So we do even another 10k. I feel like maybe that was the better play, because the droids probably is just a 1 energy for a gigantic meteor, 2 energy for a cell. They either get a ramp or they get a draw. And this way we know we can survive a bit longer. And if they do choose to go into, say, a Broly, we know that there is dead cards in his hand. Okay, so they're not opting to go for the ramp. The ramp up to 7. Okay, now they're playing the lab. Okay, very interesting that they've set the lab up so late. Maybe they didn't see the lab. Let's just see what happens, I guess. I feel like this will be dead next turn, so we'll keep it alive, get a draw or a ramp. No, we'll take this to hand. I feel like just getting cards in hand is good. We can just poke here. So take to 55. We'll just Sort of makes it a little bit awkward for them. It's obviously the value of being a 30k leader on offense. See, we should get another 10k from here. I know our Broly probably dies, but actually I think we might. I don't know if we won't get to use this, but we'll go a 50k swing. No, we don't want to actually do that. And we'll just sort of, yeah. So if they play down a Broly now, we can in turn KO their Broly. Or, I mean, they are perfectly set up for a Cell. Cell does remove 2 of our bodies. This is going to be a... We'll just combo it. See, like, we're still behind on the ramping, which does hurt us a little bit. Okay, so we see a Cell. This is back to what I was saying earlier. Lab allows you to facilitate Cell a lot better, makes it a lot better card. Obviously my opponent does have 3 energy for defense as well. He's going to go back to 4 life. And he does get the free play, so he'll be able to grab back an extra. He does grab back the 2 cost extra. Does combo up, which does help us, I guess, a little bit. See our own Earth Destroying Kamehameha. A lot of thinking. I feel like I'm not too sure if this is the right play, but it just means that he has to respond by using his extra card that he picked up. Does let it go. So that's okay, because if he wants to use his extra cards, he has to use it +1. And we do have another meteor for defense. Broly. So there's the 2. Ideally we probably want to see him ramp here, not add to hand. It does add to hand. We do see the 10k. I'll play, I think because we can sit a little bit pretty, we can go into another Broly if we need to next turn. Just not having to deal with an extra swing. So he's got 3 double strike androids in his energy, so we gotta think maybe going to 2 is a safe option. But we don't want to be taking that risk. I believe we might be digging now. Maybe we've just out-resourced him. Okay, so now we see a Broly. That is, we're probably happy to see that, rather than a Cell. have to take one of these. Maybe our own cell would actually be very good. And unfortunately, that isn't one of them. And that's a really good number to hit. Oh no, that isn't, sorry. Can't do my maths. But seeing a cell here would be massive. Unfortunately, that isn't a cell. And now this is the problem I have late game with things like green, is that we end up in these kinds of positions where we have no combo power. This is not where we want to be with no combo power. Guess the only thing we can hope is that we draw a gigantic meteor or a super combo of Broly. But unfortunately our resources have run out and we've just sadly drawn into no combo very late. And obviously my opponent having a cell was really, really good. I think we're in a bit of a bad spot either way. Leave him at 2. Hope that he just hasn't got anything. We'll just see what happens. We definitely are staring down a big L here. Is my opponent just going to stock his hand up and slap down a double strike for us? Right, now my opponent finally decides to play down a Broly, and it is unfortunate that this is how we're going to go out. But we were behind the whole game. We missed our curve ramp, and unfortunately we've just not seen the pieces that we needed to. Fortunately, Sensubin has been in a rough spot. I've played Sensubin especially to counter green, to counter yellow, and we didn't play any yellow. We played against green and a full power Beerus. A full power Topu. And unfortunately, this video has not worked out the way I would have liked it to. As we take our 3rd loss for the video, and it's just, I did not expect, when I started this video today, I did not expect to be taking 3 losses. My testing with Android 17 has been going very well, and we've just run into the video where it's just gone absolutely mental. So that's the end of the gameplay, guys. Like I said, it was a very rough video, myself making silly mistakes and just not having the luck that we would have liked to have had. However, I still think 17 is a really good deck, and I do want to keep trying to push it. Hope you guys did enjoy this type of video. Let me know in the comments, what other decks would you like to see happen with this? Would you like to see updated Topu? Cell's another good one that I've been thinking of. But just let me know in the comments what other decks you want to see gameplays done in this format, and we'll get them going. But if you haven't already, guys, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're on the road. We're so close to 150 subs now. It'd be so good to get there. But until next time, we'll catch you on another video.